Yeah, first off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and blessings to the Akim, the one-third and the elect, who are teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. Now, last week I put up a video about Jeremiah 12 and 9, where I was trying to show you that Israelites are not all going to look like us, like black people or Hispanics or Native Americans. Some of them will look Chinese, some of them will look white, etc. And there's 4 parts, so you can go on this YouTube page, and it's the documentary. The actual videos is called Jeremiah 12 and 9. All right, so you can look that for yourself. Today, and I can't reiterate, so I can't even pronounce it. I can't really highlight how big this book is. Now, I did mention it before in the last videos, but I'm going to go into it specifically today. It's called the Negro question. We all know that Negro was the name that the white man put on us once we were in slavery. The Negro question, part 4, the missing link. And this is by a brother called Lee Cummins, who is a so-called African American, and the African Americans are from the tribe of Judah. And this book basically shows you that in the Middle Ages, which the white man calls the Dark Ages, and he just says Dark Ages to insult you, because it was not a dark age. A lot of the things we have today, like hot water plumbing, the cathedrals we have, Tower Bridge in England, Parliament was built when we were ruling Europe. That was us. The whites just literally came in and we had wars with them, and once they won the wars, they took us down from Europe, and they put us in boats and sailed us to the Caribbean and to America. Now this book goes into that quite a lot, all right? But it was prophecy, and let's start with that. It was prophecy that the white man would be he would go down out of power for about 1,000 years, and we would be in power for that time. And that was the Middle Ages, when 193 AD, Septimius Severus, who was an Israelite who was in the Roman armies, he did a rebellion, and more or less Rome fell. The Roman Empire fell, and we pushed white people to the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. And not all of them, because the other whites that were in Europe, they were, like how we are now at the bottom and white people at the top. In the Middle Ages, it was the reversal. We were at the top and they were at the bottom. Now, because they've taken our history, and because they know, I'm talking about the elites, the white elite, because the average white person doesn't even know that they're Edomite, all right? But I'm talking about the elites. Now, when someone conquers another race, especially in their own country, are they going to keep the artwork of those people, the paintings, the mosaics? No, they're not. They're going to destroy them, all right? Or what the white man does a lot is whitewashing, which is called iconoclasm, when you have black images of, artwork of icons like Yahweh Shai and the disciples and people like Beethoven, Mozart, talented people. And back then, when we were ruling, all these people were painted as black. But then, when the whites took over, they more or less whitewashed all these images. Okay? And I give the good example is Iraq. When America went to Iraq, what was the first thing they did? They pulled down Saddam Hussein's statue. And that's what happened to us in Europe. We were ruling it from 193 AD up into the 1400s. And then because it was prophecy, we started to go into slavery in ships. So this book goes into how a lot of our people went into slavery in ships, and they were from Europe. This book All right, and on the cover there is King James, the real King James. Now I'm gonna show you when I do the post-production pictures of one of King James, and side by side, where the picture is of him being a black man, but then when the whites came into power, they made him a white man. That's what iconoclasm is, you know, to fool the masses. See, now this is King James, and he authorized, the Lord put the Spirit upon him to authorize the Bible in English. All right, now let's see what it says here. This is page 8 of the Negro question part 4. Okay. Let's see. Let's read this for you guys. Okay. I know that this image of a black King James can be a little confusing. So it's getting blurry. I'm trying to confusing because of your Western education, but this is the truth that is known by the rich and the elite in the world. That's right. They know that King James was a black man and he's an Israelite, and we're Israelites. That was the reason I paraded all of the English historians and professors before I got into the bowels of this book. I had to get your mind ready to receive the truth. King James came from a long line of black Scottish Stuart kings. 343 years rulership in Scotland. And the white man mocks us, you know why? Like that film that was about Idi Amin, that Hollywood film that came out 8 years ago with that bitch Kerry Washington, that whore. What was it called? It was called The Last King of Scotland. See, they know your history, but you guys don't know your history, you know? All right? So that's why it's important to read. Blessed is those people that readeth, right? Okay? The Stuarts not only ruled Scotland, they ruled France, Spain, Ireland, Britain, England, Wales. King James was able to rule over all these lands because all of these people were Iberian, i.e. black descent. Okay? That's it, because we took over Europe. Right? And most of what you see today, we built it. If you look at the bull in his hands, because he's got a bull there, I'm going to show you that in a minute. It represents world rulership. And there was only one other group of world leaders who used this type of symbolism, and they were the Byzantine Roman Empire, Roman emperors, which is us. Remember, they told the English that, let me just read it for you. Remember, they told the English that they were Roman citizens, and this is the proof. Now, when it talks about King James having a bull in his hand, there's the bull there. All right? It's a globe of the world, and it symbolized the rulership. So all the kings in his line used to pose for pictures with that bull. All right? And this is the time where we started to go down into slavery. They were killing us. They were putting us in boats. So the Lord put a spirit upon him to make the English translation of the Bible, which is very, very important. Now, I'm going to show you the pictures of a white King James and a black King James. Shows you that they turn in from black to white. All right. Now let's go to page 10, where we're going to look at King Charles. All right. Another brother who's an Israelite. Okay. And this is so hard for, like, it doesn't bother me what white people think, because they actually believe that they're good people. They actually believe that they haven't done anything wrong to us, and they don't deserve anything, any retribution, or to go into slavery. I'm not bothered about them. But with our people, you don't have to believe anything I put in these videos. Just go and do the research yourself, you know? All right. King Charles the First of Scots and England. All right. Now this is very important because this goes in to what happened when we started to fall out of Europe. When I say fall out of rulership. King Charles the First had the unlucky distinction of having his head cut off by English white subjects in his realm. King Charles the First wasn't the only one to suffer this indignation. When the English overran the country, they hung, decapitated men, raped the women, burned the citizens at the stake, and dashed the children against stones. This is a bit of history. So it's getting better. Let's see. This is a bit of history that is not only taught, that is not taught nor reported on in the annals of world history. Okay, because the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, they know all of our history. To tell a lie, you must know the truth, right? So he got beheaded by white people, Edomites, crackers, all right, in his when he was in rulership. And this is what happened. We had wars with them in Europe, and they started to get the upper hand. But again, it was prophecy. The Lord said the devil will be loose for a little season. That was when they started coming back into power in the Renaissance, and we went into slavery. So, and they're still in power, but thank God they're going down now. All right. Now let's go to page, and this book, I'm telling you, man, you gotta get it. All right, it's only about £8 on Amazon. I mean, it's one of the best books that I've read. Really, I've read it from back to front. It's an excellent book. All right. Okay, let's see what it says here. I want to get, okay. And this is what page is this? Page 14 of the Negro question, part 4. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get to a certain point. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I've got it. It appears from the verbiage, the wording of the Solemn League, of the Solemn League Covenant, and the introduction to the original King James Bible, and the three kingdoms, Britain, Ireland, and Scotland, were opposed. This is when we were in rulership. We were opposed to popes and Catholicism. So a lot of our people, we weren't down with the Pope and all that. All right? And the popes back then were black as well. It appears that contrary to what you've heard, King James was not a Catholic. All right? Nor were Ireland, Scotland, and Britain. I deliberately spelled Britain as Brit-ain. The two words mean something important. Get a concordance and look up the word ain. A-I-N. Alright? It's a suburb of Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. And then use the internet to see what the word Brit means, which means covenant in the original Hebrew. See? So Britain is telling you right there what it actually means. Okay? And if you look at England, I know England means land of the angels. And Anglo-Saxons means angelic sons of Isaac. All right? Why would the white man come up with all this? He didn't, because it was us. All right? He's just fooled our people and everyone around the world to think that he was King James, he was Mozart, and so forth. So if you look, there's clues all around you to show that we ruled. You just have to dig. All right? That's the main thing you have to do. You just got to dig. And the Lord, really revealed, directed me to this book. Now, I'm from England. I mean, look at it. This picture is in Westminster Abbey. Okay? And this is King Richard II. I mean, look at that. You can't say this guy's a cracker. He's got an afro there. Dark-skinned man. See? Richard II. King of England, Scotland, and Wales. son of Edward the Black Prince. See, that's why it's vital that we do our own research, man. Now, let me just read you this caption here. And don't worry if you can't see it, I'll just read it. The British, Wales, and the English were two different people. The ancient Brits were black, and the invading English were white. See? So basically, back then, it was like one race against another. Okay, but because of prophecy, they got the upper hand, because the Lord ordained that we were going to slavery if we didn't keep the laws of God. And we didn't. And a lot of our people are still not doing that. Okay? Nothing personal about this. There were two different racial types in England in the 17th century. And that was just the way it was. Who are you going to believe? This modern historian or the guy at the scene? I'm only showing you these images because of these black kings of Wales to establish the truth, and that is that the original British or Britons, Welsh or Wales, as we say in England, were black, and they were here in this captivity with us. When he said in this captivity, he's talking about America. When we lost these wars, we were rounded up, put on boats, sent to America. All right. So, and that was prophecy fulfilled, because Deuteronomy 28:68 tells you that we were going to slavery in ships. All right. Let's see a picture of Constantine. Now, we've all heard about Constantine. Again, every time you look on a TV, they depict him as a white guy. But look, this is Constantine the Great. I mean, look at the picture on that. This guy's a black man, all right? Constantine the Great. These are all blacks. These are our people. And the good thing about this book, it shows you references, some on the same pages, or a lot of references at the back of the book, so you can do your own research, all right? That's all we're asking, to do your own research. And, you know, I can't make you believe. Only the Lord can make you believe. It's as simple as that. All right. Now, this is another good book. This is called Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. Excellent book. A lot of Israelite groups have this book. This is Queen Charlotte Sophia, a light-skinned black woman who was King George III's wife. Okay. Now, there's a certain page, and I want to show you this page. I think it's 76, where it shows you that all the royalty and the coat of arms, etc., was us. Now, don't worry, I'm going to put a lot of footage in these videos to show you examples of them whitewashing our pictures, you know, etc. Because it's very important that we know the truth. John 8:32, you know, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So our people don't know who they are, and they don't know the history. So do you wonder why a lot of our people are in the mindset the way they are today? They want to be ballers, shot callers, you know. Black woman wants to be a nasty hoe. Same with you Hispanic hoes, you know, you Mexicanos. But if you knew about your history, you would strive for more, you know. See, and this is Negroes in coat of arms of nobility families. So as you can see, all the coats of arms in Europe, our people are ruling, you know, everywhere. Let's read this. Top left, the Moors of Yorkshire. And we all know the word Moor just means black, right? Including, I think it says, Thomas More, Chancellor of King Henry VIII. Right? So these books are great examples of us ruling Europe. Excellent examples. Nature Knows No Color Lines. This is a bit more expensive, but you should buy it nonetheless. Okay? Because it's very important. Very important. Because once you come into this truth, the Lord brings you into this truth, the Lord starts to, what's the word? He starts to give you a ruling class mentality, because Deuteronomy 7 and 6 says that we are above all people, and we are. But we're just rebellious to our God, so our Lord punishes us, which is a just act, you know? The word God means power. If you forsake your God, then you have no power. So that's the reason why us Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are in the position we are now. But it's temporary. It's not a permanent state we're in, you know? So it's very important to know this. Let's go back to this Negro question, part 4. I think it's page 60. Is it page 60? Oh, actually, it's this one. Salakia. It's page 60 on here. And this is going to show you that the Edomites, white people, when we were ruling, you know, they were under our thumb. They were the poor people, you know. Let's see. And there's other books, because some people say, oh, well, some of these books, they're just written by blacks and all that. You know, I mean, what about Hebrewisms of West Africa by Joseph J. Williams? He's a white guy. And he said, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the people in West Africa, most of them are Israelites. All right? So you can just do your own research. It goes to page 60. Okay. All right. This is talking about when we ruled Europe. And this is specifically about Spain and Portugal, basically. Okay? Because we ruled Europe from east to west for 1,000 years. That's why they've tried to hide it, but you can't get rid of 1,000 years worth of history. And thanks to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, we have these books and pictures and artifacts, you know, to prove it. The whites throughout a marriage with the Moors and honor. We were the Moors. Moor just means black. The Moors then were the foremost power in Europe. They were the conquerors and the whites the conquered. See, so we conquered them because Rome fell and we took over. In such case, says Roy Nash, it would be like an honor for a white, so it's getting blurry, honor for the white to marry, sorry, it's getting blurry, for the mate or marry with the governing class. Let me read that again, sorry. It would be an honor for the white people, Edomites, to mate or marry with the governing class. Who was the governors? It was us, all right? Because we were ruling the whole of Europe. So they used to give away their daughters to us because at the end of the day, we're in power. Just like now you see black women actually settling down, marrying white men. I mean, and the other way around. Same with you Hispanics, marrying white men, etc. You know, and the Lord is against that. Even if you're Israelite man, it says about taking a wife of thy seed. I think that's Tobit 4 and 12. You're not supposed to be marrying heathens, all right? Heathens were always used as females. When we conquered lands, we had concubines. You know, the word concubine just means more or less a sex slave, you know? But we had wives and concubines. These people of the other races or other nationalities, we're not supposed to be marrying them, okay? But back then, it was an honor for them, you know, their daughter or whatever, to marry one of us. And now, the tables have turned. You know, when we look at it, it's amazing because when you look at our people and the state they're in, you can't even fathom that these people were royalty, you know? But we are, and we're still royalty to this day. And that's what's the word? That is the truth that a lot of white people don't want to adhere to. That we are in the time where they're going down and we're going up. No race rules forever. All right, and that's from Nature Knows No Color Lines. But as I said, I keep raving on about this book because it's that damn good. In this book, it shows you as well. I think it's page 63. Shows you that the whites, they were the ones that were conquered back then in the Middle Ages. Let's see, 63, 67, 64, page 63. Yep, page 63. Now, here's some, what's it called? I think this is about Germany in the Middle Ages. And I'll read it for you. It's got some images there. These images are the black German soldiers defending the black royal seat of Germany. The black Germans had bows and iron-tipped arrows, while the whites had sticks and stones. The black Germans had on shoes, while the whites went barefooted. You see that? Because they were the impoverished ones, you know? But like now, they're ruling over us. Okay? That's why it says Daniel 4:17, they're the basis of men. The black German civilization was more developed than the whites in 14 AD. See that? So at the end of the day, we were the people in power and they were the poor people. And that's what happens all around the world. Look at the Ethiopians. They were the Babylonians. Look at them now. That's what the Lord does. He raises one nation up and he crushed them back down.